Hi, I'm Katrina Hawking and I work for the ALS Association Evergreen chapter.
Hi, I'm Robert Hawking. My father had ALS. Welcome to our October wine tasting.
The ALS Association Evergreen chapter helps families affected by ALS who live in Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Alaska, and we've been doing these virtual wine tastings in support of them.
So this time for our wine tasting we are doing Premium Bordeaux Blends. As it's autumn now, a Bordeaux blend could be quite nice and warming, so we're looking forward to this tasting.
And we offered this Bordeaux basket of Premium Bordeaux wines as the auction item for the Silver Lining Gala in April. And my co-worker Chris Johnson bought that in the auction, so we're hoping that she'll be joining us for one of the wines, fingers crossed, and if technology allows.
So our wines today are Spring Valley Uriah, La Sis from Saint-Emilion, and Mark Ryan Water Witch. And in this first section we're going to taste the first two of those wines.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay, so our first wine is Spring Valley Vineyard Uriah. It's red wine, it says Walla Walla Valley, 2014 estate grow. Bordeaux blends are wines that are composed of the grapes that are grown in Bordeaux, that are allowed to be grown in Bordeaux. And those are Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot, Malbec, and Carmenere. Now, there's only a very small amount of Malbec, and there's extremely small amount of Carmenere, but we'll get into more of that. So, and this one is a blend of 56% Merlot, 38% Cabernet Franc, 4% Petit Verdot, and 2% Malbec.
It has a wonderful smell.
Yes, and it's sort of a nice red colour, ruby, yeah, and a fruity smell.
Oh, it's definitely ready now.
Yes, they're quite approachable, quite smooth.
And really low tannins.
Yes.
This one is really low tannins. I sometimes find that I struggle with some of the wines that Robert likes that he says are structured, and I just find them a bit sharp on the tannins side. But this one has really soft edges, very low tannin.
Yes. Okay. So our wines in this session are wines that are actually from a fairly estates or things roughly similar. So this is actually the wine that of our tastings today that is going to be the easiest to find. It's available in some of the larger supermarkets as well as elsewhere. They are in the Walla Walla area. They have nice little pictures of their vineyards up on their websites that has the vineyard right next to wheat fields. So it's very much eastern Washington.
So ALS is a progressive disease with an ever-changing need for equipment and supplies, and the ALS Association Evergreen chapter helps with durable medical equipment loans. Even people with the very best insurance still have significant co-payments, and some people don't have the greatest insurance and really do benefit from the equipment loan program. We also have an assistive technology department that helps people with their communication devices, and you can help by making a donation now or by getting involved in the chapter. We're always looking for volunteers. We have several really interesting different ways that volunteers can participate in the chapter, everything from taking a seat on the board to participating in our new chores program. We have a program for people to actually help people living with ALS and their families in their homes. It's been put on hold a little bit since because of COVID, but we are starting now allowing volunteers to help people with ALS doing their yard work or running errands. So if you're interested in any kind of volunteer position at the board, please do get in touch with the chapter and we'll find you something that you would enjoy doing and that will really make a difference to a family affected by ALS.
So for our second wine, we actually have our first wine from France. And so this is Sis Chateau Sis Saint-Emilion Grand Cru, 2011. Top Bordeaux wines tend to be, as Katrina was alluding to earlier, a bit tannic. So I was trying to find a wine that had a good Bordeaux wine but had a reasonable length of time. So this is a 2011. Now 2011 was not the greatest vintage for Bordeaux, but that does mean that it's actually a little bit more affordable than some of the other vintages. Particularly I found that 2015 and 2016 have shot up in price after a year ago. Tariffs were imposed, but you can still find sometimes 2011 and 2014 wines that haven't gone up so much in price. So, as I was saying, also these wines for today are wines from particular areas. So the Sis estate is on the edge of what's called the Côte in Saint-Emilion, and it's on the edge of top of a hill, sloping down on quite a slope. So it's quite a strong nose again.
It's brighter than the previous one. I don't really know how to describe it except that it's a bit more, a little less mellow, a little bit more lively.
Yes.
On the palate. A little bit of the tannins.
Yes.
But yeah, that's probably what I'm responding to. A little bit more tannin, a little bit more sharpness, but it's still very drinkable, especially if you were having this with a meal.
Yes, I think this would go very well with roast beef.
Oh yes, please, let's have roast beef.
Yes. So this one is 85% Merlot and 15% Cabernet Franc. So that's actually sort of fairly typical for the Saint-Emilion area, which the grapes there tend to be Merlot and Cabernet Franc, ranging from roughly 50-50 to this is one of the sort of more Merlot-centric blends for Saint-Emilion. Next door area of Pomerol tends to be more Merlot focused. The Cabernet Sauvignon in Bordeaux tends to be in the Murdoch area and in the Graves area, which are a little bit further south. The Cabernet Sauvignon grape takes a longer time to come to ripen, and so in Bordeaux they have different areas tend to do different ones of these grapes depending on what their growing season is like. And so when you have Bordeaux blends, you know, the grapes that may be involved can be different based on the area, whereas in say Washington, sometimes the grapes involved in the Bordeaux blend is basically it's about what the winemaker's choice is. Though also in Bordeaux, they have the different grapes sometimes as an insurance policy. So when the different in some vintages, some grape types do better than others, and so they have by having a selection, they can still every year try and make sure that they produce a good wine.
So will each estate grow several different varieties, or do they do, like sometimes when we were in like Chelan, they were trading grapes, while wineries were trading grapes.
So these are all actually from the the vineyards of La Sis Chateau will have the Merlot and the Cabernet Franc.
So it's a single estate wine.
Yes, this is
what a single estate wine
yes.
is? Okay, thanks. I'm just learning these things.
So
it's delicious.
So actually, because of I thought there might be an issue with the tannins. I poured some out at the beginning before we started tasting, so that it would have a little time to open up in the glass. And so let's see how.
Oh, is this the same wine again, but aired?
Yes.
Okay, how long has it been in the glass?
I think in this case about 40 minutes, almost to an hour.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
It's more open.
Yeah.
So during the September wine tasting, I talked about the new drug that was in development by Amylyx, AMX0035. And the results from the first studies have been really promising. I asked that people sign a petition that was supported by IMALS and the ALS Association, asking the FDA to allow people with ALS to start taking this medication as soon as possible. And we got an overwhelming response. Over 43,000 people so far have signed this petition. And if you haven't, there's still a chance for you to do so, so I'll link the information to the petition in the video. But if you're wanting to know more about AMX0035, Dr. Michael Elliott is going to be presenting information about this drug for the ALS Association Evergreen chapter on Monday, October 19th from 12 to 1, and I'll link the invitation to this seminar in the video below.
Okay, so we look forward to seeing if we can taste the last one of our Bordeaux blends, which is so the first two that we've had have been Merlot-led wines. That's the biggest component has been Merlot, and our last one is going to be a Cabernet Sauvignon-led wine. So.
And hopefully we'll be tasting that with Chris, but if we're unable to do the Zoom with her, then we may be back on our own. Okay, so we're back and we have Chris Johnson with us, and Chris got the Premium Bordeaux basket at the Silver Lining Gala, so we're going to be tasting one of those Bordeaux with Chris now. Hi, Chris.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm excited to join you guys today.
Good. So we're going to be tasting Mark Ryan Winery Water Witch 2016.
And Chris, you have yours?
I have mine right here.
Oh, I love your little pour spout.
Wait to try it. You love. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, these are very handy. So.
Okay,
awesome.
so this one says it's 64% Cabernet Sauvignon, 20% Merlot, 9% Cabernet Franc, and 1% Petit Verdot. So that's a blend that you might find in the Murdoch in Bordeaux.
And this is a Washington State.
Yes. So this is actually from they get the grapes from one vineyard, the Quintessence Vineyard, apparently.
Okay.
And actually apparently the winery has some control over the vineyard, so that the grapes are just put for them. So
okay, they're not growing there.
It's not an estate one, but it's quite similar.
Okay, so an estate wine, they grow all their own grapes.
That's right.
And this is
they have a contract with or something like that with the vineyard.
Got it. They've got a contract with the vineyard. Okay.
And some degree of control over it.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, do you want to? Yeah.
So this is our first time doing one of these over Zoom. Cheers, Chris.
Cheers.
I feel like I don't know which way the cut screen is going to go, but we can clink
Right?
it both directions.
Where I'm gonna fit in.
So it's got quite a lot of bright fruit on the nose.
Smells kind of
Oh.
tannic.
Wow, that is
Mm-hmm.
a lot sweeter
Yeah.
than I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Robert sort of warned me ahead of time that this was the youngest one of the 3 Bordeaux. I was expecting a lot of tannins, but it's
No,
really
there is
sweet.
there's quite a lot of tannin. There is quite a lot of tannins in it. But yeah, it's more approachable than the Saint-Emilion was.
Okay.
Really smooth.
Yeah. So it may be that because this is fairly young, that the we're drinking it now as a young wine. It may go into a period where it closes up for a little bit soon, and then it'll be more in a sort of mature wine in maybe 4 years' time. So,
Are you getting a little bit of a caramel aftertaste? Or is that just me?
Yeah.
No, I think there's a tiny bit in the back of the throat.
There's the pepperiness of Cabernet Sauvignon.
So
Yeah.
Chris is a chef. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I am not a chef.
You're not a chef. You have a cooking
That's a
channel,
over-
Chris.
I do like to cook. I do.
Chris likes to cook. Okay, I misspoke. Chris is not a chef, but Chris likes to cook. So what do you think would go nicely? What would you like to eat with this?
Wow. It's interesting because it's not super heavy. It's kind of light for all the the varietals that are in it. It seems like. So, I mean, I'm always gonna say steak with red, but I'm kind of wondering, if something a little middle ground might not be good, like a grilled pork or something like that, like a pork tenderloin.
Yeah. Or lamb is a classic one to have Cabernet Sauvignon.
Lamb.
Doesn't that
Try that. That would be wonderful. Yeah, I'm surprised. The tannins are definitely there, but they're not hit you in the face strong. They're not as they're not the overwhelming note in the wine for me. Really drinkable.
I'm gonna have it with a little bit of the cheese.
Excellent.
Let's see what I think.
So it's Beecher's flagship.
This is the Beecher's flagship.
Excellent.
Just a tiny piece.
This is one of my favorite cheeses.
Me too. Okay. If you were going to go really highbrow, lowbrow, I would have this with a big plate of the Beecher's mac and cheese.
Ooh.
It would be so decadent, but in a real comfort food kind of way.
I'm wondering, what would you think about smoked meats?
Yeah,
With this?
possibly. Generally, with smoked meats, I tend to go with more sort of Syrah type.
Or Zinfandel.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, but no, I think you could do smoked meats with it. Yeah.
I think I would even. So I often like Pinot Noir with. We've done that with our Thanksgiving roast turkey. Our family really likes reds, but I think this might work with that as well.
Yeah.
I might have to give that a try. Try this Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So Chris has been a big help to me at work. Chris has been with the chapter a long time, and whenever I
sort of have a problem, Chris is always the first person that I ask about that before just about anybody else. Chris, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do at the chapter now and other roles you've had?
Sure. Well, I've been with the chapter for 7 years now. I had no connection to ALS when I started working there. And so it's been a really interesting journey, but I started out as the office assistant at the front desk and primarily supported the care services team. So chances are, if anybody received, built up utensils in the mail or had to call the office to have a piece of equipment reserved, I was the person who was helping make that happen. And now I work on the development team, and I'm the donor engagement coordinator.
Oh, okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, Chris.
Cheers.